Bonjour from Paris. I am starting the small business studio vlog different this week. As you can see, we're in an airport. So this is something that I actually don't show very often on this channel, but that is how I juggle kind of my personal channel along with Katnipp. A lot of the time, although it looks nice if you follow both channels and you see me traveling all over on Catherine K, a lot of the times what you don't actually see is the times when I'm working on Katnipp and the business. I get a lot of questions actually about how I juggle both things. The reality of it is when I travel, I have to have a work routine as I travel if I want to be able to do both. So it's not like I can just travel and enjoy the travel and then think about Katnipp when I get back. There's a lot of things I want to do to grow Katnipp. A lot of the times it means working on the roads, and me and Dean over the years have actually developed a quite good working routine, and we often work in airports, so we use airports as our work time. It's a great way to kill time, to be honest, especially on a travel day when all you're doing is kind of waiting around or browsing on your phone. We often go to airports really early for our flight, so we're actually here 4 hours early and our flight isn't for another 4 hours, but we had work to do. So rather than staying in the hotel and then panicking that we're not going to get to the airport and taxis are going to be delayed and things like that, we'll often just arrive at the airport, settle in, find a place to plug in and do our work and get to work. So we have been in Paris for 3 nights because I was filming a Disneyland Paris series. Another thing I haven't talked about is the fact that I started to really take my personal brand and my personal channel seriously about 2 to 3 years ago now. I began to see it more as a business than just a hobby, and I really wanted to grow it and to expand Catherine K alongside Katnipp as another way to get Katnipp out in the world. So that's something I haven't really deep dived about on this channel, but it also ties into something that I love doing, which is traveling. And I thought, how can I make it work where I can not only grow Katnipp as a business, but I can also enjoy travel and get to have experiences. And the way to do that was to kind of see them both as one in the same. I remember before when I started Catherine K, it was just a place to upload all my favourite travels and document my travels during my holidays and stuff like that. But then I started to see, actually this could be another branch and a diversified income stream to help support Katnipp and to help grow Katnipp. I also remember back in the day I used to experiment with my content and I used to do more like travel vloggy content, but now it's kind of gone back to how I personally like to film, which is more Katnipp style, which is just my personal artistic style of creating content, and I've started incorporating that into Catherine K, so everything kind of intertwines with each other. That being said, Catherine K still is more of a passion project and a secondary channel where I post things that I love to share. So I'm not really niched down in Catherine K. If you noticed on that channel, I do kind of all different things, from Disney to Japan to home vlogs. It is still a place for me to express myself in a different way and create content that I want to share, document and create. So on that channel, it's definitely more loose and not as niched in. I think if you really wanted to just be a YouTuber or just be a content creator, it is good to have like a specific topic in mind that you kind of grow upon. Like for example, this channel was about growing Katnipp and became like a studio vlog, small business growth channel, and now it's kind of developing into just my journey growing Katnipp still weekly as it changes. At the minute we're in this transition phase where I don't have a studio because I've released my 2 studios that we used to rent. We will hopefully be building a home studio when we finally move into the cottage, when the cottage renovations are happening. In between that time, whenever I travel, I do tend to work on Katnipp stuff, whether it's creating content, editing vlogs, doing thumbnails, answering emails, working on sponsorships, developing new products. I've done a lot of that on the road as well, and I thought I'd just start the vlog a little bit different because when we get back, we're actually going to have a really busy couple of weeks as we pack orders, because our pre-orders for our plushies are coming in. Crazy time at the minute. It's going to be interesting to look back on these vlogs when we're settled into the cottage and we have a home studio and stuff, to see how crazy and how we adapted to still still running a business during this phase. We are just doing the best we can at the minute. So yeah, it's going to be a crazy few weeks of packing orders. When I get back as well, I hope the calendar that I did on last week's vlog, if you haven't seen it, I developed a slimline calendar when I was procrastinating because one of you guys said you'd really like to see a slimline calendar, and that should be waiting for me when I get home, and I'd love to unbox that and see how it turned out. But one thing I need to do today is I actually created these watercolours on the last vlog, if you watched that, and I'm actually going to experiment with releasing them as a digital download on my Etsy store on katnipp.com, because I have the studio vlog from last week going up today. So it's currently Thursday as I'm filming this, and I also need to do the thumbnail. So I've already done the vlog already just before I went to Paris, and then also when I was in like Disneyland, what I would do is I'd get up on a morning, because I did work with a sponsor last week. I had to edit some of the vlogs, so I normally get up and I edit, I answer emails, I go through anything that's urgent, and then we finally go out and we film like the travel or what we're doing for the rest of the day. But normally I make it a priority on a morning to do Katnipp, to do Catherine K, to do anything that's business orientated before we go out. And this is what we kind of do, like our routine when we travel. But yeah, the digital downloads and the watercolour painting that we did in the last vlog, I want to upload that onto my Shopify store. So I've got that on my list of things to do. I also need to edit the thumbnail and publish the studio vlog that hopefully you guys will have seen last week. Let's get to work, shall we? Wi-Fi's not working. Have you got strong Wi-Fi? Frothy milk of my tea. It's absolutely freezing in this airport. We've had to move to the next section because we weren't at the right gate. But I got my vlog done. It's freezing. Using my little Bumblebook travel mouse mat that I take everywhere with me. I've just uploaded my studio vlog for last week. It's about to board, but look how cool this is at this airport. We can play PlayStation. Oh, hello, Dean! Also, I bought some stuff from Pop Mart and Disney. I'll be doing a haul on my personal channel if you want to see the Disneyland content. But I got a really cool clock from Disneyland Paris to put in my studio, my home studio when we got it. How exciting. Right, let's go back home, shall we? We just got in from our flight and the calendar has arrived. I've been looking forward to this and seeing what this turns out like, because this is the first time that I'm doing a Katnipp slimline calendar. So hopefully it looks really nice. Also, I probably look so scabby because it's been a long travel day. Even though Paris is only like an hour flight, it still takes ages, and we've been at the airport since like 12 and our flight wasn't till 5. Oh my goodness. The paper seems different to the other paper. It feels more like thin. unless it's just a size. But oh my gosh, that looks so cool. I've never done a calendar like this before. Ooh, the pages are really soft. I think I might need to move over the dates. Can you see the dates are a bit close? But only on January's page there.
This Marshy cut off as well.
Yeah, I might need to move that down a little bit. Marshy's okay, but the dates, unless it's just this print, this
I think there was
particular
February or
print.
March that did amending as well.
What was wrong with February?
Oh no, maybe not.
Oh, look at it though. How cool's that? It's like, feel the paper. It's like really soft. How cool's that? I don't know what happened there. I feel like January and March is like, can you see the date? It's not, the dates aren't cut off, but they are a bit close. I don't know if you can see that towards the end. So I don't know if I can adjust the print files on this, but look how good that looks. I did this because it was actually one of you guys suggested a streamlined thin calendar. Let me know if you prefer these type of calendars or if you prefer the larger ones. I think what I might do is just before I have it go live, it's fine for me, none of the dates are actually cut off. I think I might move all of the dates inwards a little bit and also make the note box smaller. Can you see? I think it might just be too close to the bleed edge. Luckily none of them are cut off, but it looks really cute. I love it. I do think I need to adjust the notebook, so just to give it a bit more leeway. But yeah, now it's like nearly 8 p.m. or it's just gone 8 p.m. I'm gonna get my tea and chill out for the night, and tomorrow I've got a busy filming and editing day because I'm working with a sponsor for Catherine K. So I need to film and edit, and it's also like a cottage update. So
And my thank you card.
oh, and oh yeah, we have to design the thank you cards for the new plushies that are arriving, because look at this. We've already had all the packaging arrive, so these are the boxes for people who've ordered multiple plushies, which is what people have ordered actually. So they have already arrived. Look, we're taking up this dining room. I feel so bad. A little photography setup over here. Again, this is actually where I do my makeup and stuff. I've moved all my stuff on the table behind. Dean is currently doing the listing. This is just where I'm going to do some product photography. I have to kind of make do with the tools that I've got and get creative about where I can take product photos and stuff. I actually think I need to get my backing boards that are all different colours out of my storage unit for next year, so I think I might have to do a trip to storage. But I'm just going to take a couple of photos of them, and then I need to adjust the American ones because we have two different listings, one for America, one for the UK and the rest of Europe, and it's a different size, like a completely different size. I think it's slightly shorter, so I have to adjust the whole design for the American one. So first I'm just going to take a photo though, because it will look very similar to this, and then I'm going to have to upload the template. Dean's made me a list of all the thank you cards I need to send off, and we've had our first box arrive of all the plush toys, but I'm going to go into my planner and make my plan for the week. So I ended up finishing a bunch of cards, including the final thank you card of 2025, which is collectible. I decided to use Soraline the Snow Princess and Cinnamon the Deer. This is actually a character that I would love to introduce into my winter themed Bumblebutt and Bonbon book, which is going to be either the 3rd or 4th book in the series that I would love to illustrate. So this was the thank you card, and I don't know about the name Soraline or Soraline. Let me know in the comments if you think it suits her whole character. And then I added the Bumblebutt Christmas card and the Cinnamon card for the plushie keychain. So these are collectible cards that come with the plushie keychains. I decided to start adding these to all the plushie keychains going forward. I think it's just a really nice extra bit, and I actually got the inspiration from my love from blind boxes. I love getting the little card inside and I like to keep them, so I decided I was going to do it with my future plush toys. And then last but not least was my design for the Bumblebutt large plush toy, because it's such a special plush toy and I did this for the first ever Bumblebutt plush toy. I created these adoption certificates, so if you're giving it to like children, or even if you just want to keep the card for yourself, it's an official certificate of adoption to say that you've got your very own Bumblebutt plush toy. So I think that's really, really cute to add into the orders, so I sent off for that as well. So they have all been sent off, but I'm still in my PJs and it's currently 15:35. This is actually 4 days later and we've been packing orders, or at least Dean has. We've both got sick. I've got some sort of like stomach bug and Dean's got some sort of cold. Trust an airport and travel, and specifically Disney, where there's obviously lots of people and lots of kids, to give you a bug. In fact, we tend to get something after an airport nearly every time now. It's a bit gross really. So yeah, trust a good old airport to give you some sort of winter bug, but obviously that's going to happen when you're crammed into a plane full of people in the middle of winter. Anyway, we've got so much to do. I'll give you a sneak peek on what's going to be going on in next week's vlog, because we are going to be packing up 570 orders on the table, and it is complete and utter chaos, I'm not gonna lie. Not only have we got sick, some things have gone wrong. I ended up wiping my calendar that I did, you know, the slimline calendar. I put this Instagram and YouTube shorts reel up. Guys, you never guess what I've gone and done. You know, I've just released my brand new slimline calendar and spent hours editing and creating the designs. I've only went and deleted the original file. I updated my MacBook yesterday and it added loads of things from iCloud to the desktop, so I just selected them all and deleted them and emptied the trash bin, and I forgot that I'd saved all the calendar files on the desktop and I can't recover it. I've went onto my iCloud and everything. Oh, what have I done? Luckily the JPEG files are still available, so you can still purchase the calendar, but that means next year I'm gonna have to do the design from scratch. I guess that's next year's problem. So yeah, that happened, which is annoying. It's now next year's problem. Got the JPEG files through my print-on-demand manufacturer. I can download the JPEGs and PNGs, but that means that next year when I come to designing the calendar again, I'm going to have to design it completely from scratch rather than use a template that I'd created and spent hours creating, like the individual dates, the individual lines, the scalloped edges, the borders. I'm going to have to do all of that again. That's next year's problem. There's no point dwelling on it. It is what it is. It's been difficult to know what to share on this channel since we're transitioning and we're currently just living in this in-between. Let me know if you're still enjoying these vlogs. I hope you are. I hope you still enjoy seeing how we're running Katnipp and building Katnipp during this weird phase. I think it's actually going to be more interesting for me to look back on, because here on this channel I've been documenting the journey as an artist and building the world of Katnipp since I started, like in my bedroom essentially. Pretty much around 2 years after like I properly started to get the ball rolling. This is just the phase that we're in right now, so yeah, it's going to be crazy to look back on and see how we still ran Katnipp and built Katnipp whilst not having our own home while it was getting renovated. Let me know if you're still enjoying them. I'll see you next week when we will be getting the thank you cards. They'll be coming in and we get to work on packing all these orders. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like because it helps the channel out, and leave a comment below. Alright then, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next week. I love you.